Okay, let's be real. If you're a CPA, do you ever feel like you're just drowning in compliance work? I bet you do. You're not alone. But what if? What if there was a way to completely transform your firm? To go from being a compliance factory to an advisory powerhouse that clients can't get enough of? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today, how strategic outsourcing is making that a reality.
I mean, this quote just hits home, doesn't it? Let's be honest with ourselves. Nobody gets into this business dreaming of late nights spent wrestling with messy bank recs. You started your firm with a big vision, right? To be that trusted advisor, the person who guides clients through their biggest financial decisions. But somehow, you ended up in the weeds.
And that right there is the CPA dilemma in a nutshell. You are so busy putting out all the daily fires, the endless bookkeeping, the tax prep, the quarterly reports, that you have zero time to think about the big picture. Your firm gets stuck in this reactive cycle, and there's just no oxygen left in the room for real, meaningful growth.
And please, if you only remember one thing from this, let it be this. Your firm will not grow by just doing more of the same old thing. You can't just work harder at the tasks that are holding you back. It's impossible. Growth happens when you fundamentally change the game, when you shift your entire focus from that low-value compliance stuff to high-value strategic advisory work.
So what's the path forward? It's all about advisory services. This is where you actually get to make a huge difference for your clients. You stop just reporting on what happened in the past, and you start helping them shape their future. And let me tell you, that's how you build a firm that's not only way more profitable, but also one that you're genuinely excited to run every day.
Just take a look at this. On the left, you've got the stuff that keeps the lights on, right? The necessary, time-consuming compliance work. But over on the right, that's the work that builds an empire. That's the strategic advice that clients will happily pay a premium for. So the question is, which side of this chart do you want your firm to live on?
But here's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How on earth do you find the time for this high-value work when your team is already buried under a mountain of compliance tasks? It feels like a total catch-22. You know you need to do this strategic work to grow, but you're too bogged down by the day-to-day grind to even start.
And this is where outsourcing completely changes the game. But let's be crystal clear about something. This isn't about saving a few bucks on labor. Not at all. This is a strategic move. It's about unlocking your firm's true potential by freeing up your best people so they can do what they do best: advise your clients and grow your business.
So where do you even begin? Well, look at this list. These are the classic time sucks. They're the tasks that eat up hours and hours of your team's day, but don't really add a ton of strategic value. Think about bank recs, or the basic prep work for tax returns. Yeah, they have to get done, but does it really need to be done by your most senior, client-facing people? No way.
And the best part? It's so much simpler than you think. Look at this workflow. It's just 3 steps. You assign the work, an expert team gets it done, often overnight, and then you review it. You are always in the driver's seat. You have 100% control over the quality and the final product that your client sees. We call this the white label model. And you should really think of a good outsourcing partner as your secret weapon. They're like the ghostwriter in the background, doing the heavy lifting to make you look like a genius. Your clients, they never even know they exist. All they see is the amazing, fast work that you deliver under your firm's name.
Okay, that all sounds great in theory. But does this stuff actually work in the real world? Let's talk about the tangible impact. Let's look at the numbers, because at the end of the day, that's what matters, right? The results. Okay, check this out. We see this happen time and time again. Firms that get smart and strategically outsource their compliance work see a 30 to 40% jump in their high-value advisory revenue. And get this, it often happens within the very first year. That's not just a little bit of growth. That's a total business model transformation.
And, it's not just about the money. Your team is happier because they get to focus on more interesting, engaging work, which means less burnout and turnover. You can onboard new clients way faster because you don't have those internal bottlenecks. And best of all, you finally have the time to build those deep, strategic relationships with your clients. To me, that's the biggest one of all.
Now, I know what some of you are probably thinking. This sounds good, but what about data security? And won't this hurt my client relationships? And you know what? Those are exactly the right questions to be asking. So let's just tackle them head on, right now.
This is, without a doubt, the #1 concern we hear. And it's a completely valid one. You're dealing with incredibly sensitive financial data for your clients. You have to be absolutely certain that it's safe. So is it? The answer is a resounding yes, provided you work with a reputable partner. Look, any serious outsourcing firm lives and breathes data security. We're talking about bank-level security infrastructure, secure portals, VPN-only access, end-to-end encryption, and super strict internal protocols. Protecting your data is job number one.
Okay, let's talk about the other big concern. Your client relationships are your firm's most valuable asset, period. You've spent years building that trust. The absolute last thing you want to do is put that in jeopardy. So, does outsourcing risk that?
No, absolutely not. In fact, it's the exact opposite. Because this is a white label model, your clients will never ever interact with your outsourcing partner. They won't even know they exist. All your clients know is that suddenly you're more responsive, more proactive, and delivering more value than ever before. You get to be the hero in their story.
I want you to really think about this quote for a second. Outsourcing isn't a risk, it's a release. It's not something to be afraid of. It's about releasing your firm from the daily grind, from the shackles of that low-value compliance work, so you can finally unleash its true potential to advise, strategize, and grow. So, I'll just leave you with this one last question to chew on. What kind of firm are you building? Is it a firm that's just built to comply, stuck in the past, endlessly grinding away? Or is it a firm that's built to advise, one that's ready for the future and focused on delivering the high-level strategy that truly matters? The choice is yours. Thanks for tuning in.